Hello students, this is part 2 on physical world. In last video, I discussed about principles in physics and scope of physics, and we'll see the rest of the topics in this video. These are the topics I'm going to cover in this video: hypothesis, axiom and models, technological applications of physics, fundamental forces in nature, difference between the forces, unification of forces. Okay, let us see now about hypothesis, axiom and model. It is very simple actually. One should not think everything can be proved with physics and mathematics. All physics and also in mathematics is based on assumptions, each of which is variously called hypothesis or axiom or postulate, etc. Say for example, the universal law of gravitation proposed by Newton is an assumption or hypothesis which he proposed. Before him, there were several observations, experiments and data on the motion of planets around the sun, motion of moon around the earth, bodies falling towards the earth, etc. Each of these required a separate explanation which was more or less qualitative. With the universal law of gravitation says, if we assume that any two bodies in the universe attract each other with a force proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, then we can explain all these observations in one stroke. Hypothesis is a supposition or assumption without assuming that it is true. It may not be proved but can be verified through a series of experiments. Okay, this is called assumption. And then axiom. Generally, we use this axiom term in mathematics. Axiom is a self-evident truth that it is accepted without controversy or question. Then model. Model is a theory proposed to explain observed phenomena. And last is assumption is the basis of physics where a number of phenomena can be explained. These assumptions are made from experiments, observation, and lot of statistical data. Even in mathematics too, we need axiom and hypothesis at every stage. For example, Euclid statement. You may study it in 10th standard mathematics. So what is that statement? Euclid statement. That is the parallel lines never meet. See, this is a hypothesis. This means if we assume this statement, we can explain several properties of straight line and 2 or 3 dimensional figures made out of them. But if you do not assume it, you are free to use different axiom and get new geometry, as it has indeed happened in past few centuries and decades. The connection between physics, technology and society can be seen in many examples. We'll see few examples where physics and its concept have led to discoveries and inventions. We'll see few examples here. Steam engine was developed from the Industrial Revolution in 18th century. Wireless communication was developed after discovery of law of electricity and magnetism in 19th century. Neutron-induced fission of uranium done by Hahn and Meitner in 1938 led to the formation of nuclear power reactor and nuclear weapons. And most importantly, silicon chip that triggered the computer revolution in the last 3 decades of 20th century. And development of alternative energy sources, that is in conversion of solar, wind, geothermal, many energies into electricity. In our experience, force is needed to push, carry or throw objects, deform or break them. A few fundamental forces are given here. We have 4 fundamental forces in nature: gravitational force, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force. Let us see one by one about it. Okay students, first we'll see about gravitational force. Why I have given this animation, you may very well know about it because you have already studied about Newton's gravitational law. So what is this statement actually? Newton's law of universal gravitation. Actually, this is every particle attracts every other particle in the universe with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their centers. Okay, so what is the equation? So as per Newton's law of gravitation, this force is denoted by F, which is directly proportional to product of their masses, mass 1 and mass 2, product of their masses, and inversely proportional to square of between their centers. So this he found in universal law of gravitation. Okay, and you can see in next one, the solar system, each and every planet attracted towards sun. So this is also because of the gravitational force. It is the force of mutual attraction between any two objects by virtue of their masses. It is the universal force, as every object experiences their force due to every other object in the universe. Next we'll see about electromagnetic force. Actually, this is the force between charged particle. When charge at rest, it will give or it will produce electric field. When charge is in motion, produces magnetic field or magnetic force. Okay, very important. When charge is at rest, produces electric field. When charge in motion, produces magnetic field. Okay, so electric field when the charge will be at rest. So there will be two possibility. One, the force of attraction, and another will be the force of repulsion. When the charges will be getting attracted between the unlike charges. Unlike charges will get attracted, and when the charges will repel each other, the charges will be like charges. Okay, two positive, you can see two positive charges will repel each other, whereas one positive and one negative charge will attract each other, and similarly two negative charges will repel each other. So as I said, unlike charges attract each other, like charges repel each other. Okay, so this is the possibility of producing electric field. Whenever the charge is in motion, produces magnetic field. We'll see the EM wave now, electromagnetic field. The blue line gives you electric field and the red line gives you magnetic field. Next we'll see about strong nuclear force. The strong nuclear force binds protons and neutrons in a nucleus. The strong nuclear force is the strongest of all fundamental forces, about 100 times the electromagnetic force in strength. It is the attractive force between protons and neutrons in a nucleus. It is charge independent and acts equally between a proton and a proton, neutron and a neutron, and a proton and a neutron. Its range is about 10 to the power minus 15 meters. It is responsible for the stability of nuclei. The electron, it must be noted, it does not experience this force. Recent developments have, however, indicated that protons and neutrons are built out of still more elementary constituents called quarks. Weak nuclear force appears only in certain nuclear processes such as the beta decay of a nucleus. In beta decay, the nucleus emits an electron and an uncharged particle called neutrino. The weak nuclear force is not as weak as the gravitational force, but much weaker than the strong nuclear and electromagnetic force. The range of weak nuclear force is in the order of 10 to the power minus 16 meters. I have given one example here, how carbon 14 is converted into nitrogen 14. Okay, you can see in the animation there is emission of electron and antineutrino, and there is an equation for this process. One electron lost and this carbon 14 is converted into nitrogen 14. Now we'll see about difference between the forces. First one, gravitational force. See, this gravitational force is the weakest among all. The strength is 10 to the power minus 39, range infinite, operates among all objects in the universe. Next is weak nuclear force, 10 to the power minus 13, range very short, approximately 10 to the power minus 16 meters, and operates among some elementary particles, particularly electron and neutrino. Next comes electromagnetic force. Range is 10 to the power minus 2 meters. Strength is 10 to the power minus 2. Range is infinite. Operates among charged particles. Strong nuclear force. Relative strength 1. Range 10 to the power minus 15 meters. Operates among nucleons, heavier elementary particles. Unification of forces. There have been physicists who have tried to combine a few of the above fundamental forces. They are combining, previously we saw natural forces, 4 natural forces like gravitational force, weak nuclear force, strong nuclear force, and electromagnetic force. So few physicists, they are trying to combine these forces. Okay, we'll see. Newton unified terrestrial and celestial domains under a common law of gravitation in the year of 1687. The experimental discoveries of Hans Christian Ørsted and Faraday showed that electric and magnetic phenomena are in general inseparable, and this gave rise to electromagnetism. They unified electric and magnetic phenomena in the year of 1820 and 1830 respectively. Maxwell unified electromagnetism and optics with the discovery that the light is an electromagnetic wave. Okay, Maxwell combined electromagnetism and optics, so which gives rise to electromagnetic wave in the year of 1873. And Einstein attempted to unify gravity and electromagnetism, but he could not succeed in this. In this video, I covered hypothesis, axiom and model, technological applications of physics, fundamental forces in nature, difference between the forces, and unification of forces. I'll cover rest of the topics in my next video. Thank you.